Hey y'all. Hello, and welcome to this Kingdom Things Podcast live episode. My name is Nicole Phillips. Most Sundays, I'll stream a Kingdom Things Podcast live episode. Today is April 16, 2023. I remember to say, what is time but a beautiful experience? I have so much gratitude for all of the elements of creation, so thank you, time, for all of the ways that you contribute to reality. I'm super excited because I have gleaned some really cool things. Today is key. I'm going to let my ancestors move through me. I'm allowing my ancestors to move through me. I'm allowing my ancestors to move through me. But today, Kingdom Things Podcast episode will be hello. Today's Kingdom Things Podcast episode will be titled Harmonic Convergence. Harmonic Convergence. The harmonic convergence there's so many layers, so many analogies that can be used. Principle of correspondence, as below, so above. Every dimensionality of creation only mirrors like the next symmetrical dimensionality of creation. So there's so many analogies that can be used. I have a divine counterpart. And me and my divine counterpart are on a special mission, are on a really cool mission as we go within and activate our unique frequential soul prints, our unique frequencies, our unique patterns of creation, and begin to operate within and through our unique patterns of creation, or our souls, or our unique frequencies. We're going to begin to follow our intuition, follow our higher guidance, follow our intuition. We're going to begin to get into alignment, or follow our guidance that has a vantage point and can view and perceive ourselves in ways that we can't perceive ourselves, and within the consciousness that we are within in every moment. So as you get into alignment with your soul or God, our God and soul are mirrors, have 0 degrees of separation. As you get into alignment with your soul or God, you're going to begin to open up realities that are like really beautiful and beyond, our precepts and synapses, understandings of reality. So I have a divine counterpart, and when I was a small child, God told me who my husband would be, and that's how God, breadcrumbed me to be here right now. So God told me who my husband would be, my divine counterpart. And my divine come to find out, who God said my husband would be is my divine counterpart. And my divine counterpart and I carry the highest potentials, highest frequency of energy that's incarnated on this planet. My divine counterpart and I are the highest frequency of energy. We have souls that have dimensions and aspects that are the highest frequency of energy incarnated on planet Earth at this time. Actually, within the dimensionality of planet Earth at this time. And physical vessels or not, my divine counterpart and I have dimensions and aspects within our soul that carry the highest frequency of energy within all of creation, within all of source. Go ahead and be honest. My divine counterpart and I carry the highest frequency of energy within all of source, within our soul print. I'm being guided to explain why. Why, Ashley? How, Ashley? How do you know? As I got in alignment with my soul, I channeled a lot of information, and I was able to perceive that our soul print, in the episode of Kingdom Things Podcast titled In Plain Sight, you can think infinite creation is infinite. So our bubble of creation, and this is an analogy, our sphere of creation is one of infinite spheres of creation. We know our spheres of creation as God or Prime Source or the Most High, White Light Creator Energy. That is our bubble of creation. My divine counterpart and I, we came into source creation at the beginning, at jump. We came into source creation from another dimensionality of creation that had already traveled infinite spaces, a plethora of infinite spaces. So we incarnated into source creation. It's a lot like that's beautiful. That's channeling an analogy. It's a lot like the experiences of a soul incarnating into different planets to learn and grow. We were an energy that came into source, the bubble sphere of source, which is a creator God energy in and of itself, to learn and grow. So the frequency of energy that we have within our soul print assisted with the creation of source or God. The frequency of energy that we have in our soul print assisted with the creation of source or God. The frequency of energy that we have in our soul print assisted with the creation of source or God. I knew this, but I never shared it out loud. I did on a podcast, but I kind of glazed over it. So we have the highest frequency of energy within our soul. Incarnated on the planet, we possess the highest frequency of energy on the planet. Incarnated or in ethereal realms, higher dimensions that are not incarnated into physical vessels, having the human experience as we perceive it in this dimensionality of creation. So, I'm going to go into childhood. I'm going to go into my childhood. I was a highly sensitive child. I felt, what I'm feeling right now, as I have done a lot of shadow work or facing myself, facing the energies that I took on, facing the energies that I took on with the frequency in which we are, my divine counterpart and I, in order to be balanced, in order to alchemize the balance, the unconditional love in which God, Source, the Most High White Light Creator energy set out to alchemize within this era of creation called unconditional love. My divine counterpart and I had to take on just as much darkness as we are light. My divine counterpart and I had to take on just as much darkness as we are light. My divine counterpart and I had to take on just as much darkness as we are light. Good thing is we were highly protected, so as destructive as we've been in our lives, like it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been worse. We could have went to much worse things. It could have been a lot worse. Oh. As destructive as we've been, it could have been a lot worse. What do you mean by destructive, Ashley? My divine counterpart and I have beautiful spirits and beautiful hearts where we want to help people, right? We want to help people. Like, we want to help people. That's what we want to help people. That's what we want to do. We want to help people. Coupling that pure innocence of wanting to help with our darkness, the darkness that we have within, it turns into manipulating people, being deceptive to people. And most of the time we're doing this unconsciously. Being manipulative and deceptive to people in order to lead people to their salvation or in order to lead people to their solutions. Because honestly, like, we know how to help people. Like, you know, on a soul level, like, we just know, like, intuitively we just know, right? But Upanishads, this life experience, the life journey is not about just getting to the solution. So we had a lot of kickback and people that like didn't seem to appreciate the help. Why, Ashley? Because those people had to push us away in order for them to have their own experience. Because we could have tricked them into all of their solutions, but they wouldn't have the pleasure, they wouldn't have the opportunity, they wouldn't have the experience to grow by figuring their way through their own situations, by figuring their way through their own lives, by figuring their way to their own salvations. So we took on a lot of dark energies, right? And a while back, some time ago, at the beginning of my exponential ascension journey, I had a vision in my mind's eye. I saw myself and my divine counterpart, my twin. We were small children, like 4 years old. We were both 4 years old. My divine counterpart is older than me. We have the age gap thing with the twin flame. We have the age gap, but we were both 4 years old, and we were in like a cavern. The best way I can explain it is I'm from Austin, Texas, and we have the inner space caverns where there are stalactite caves. It's like a 4-hour tour through stalactite caves. I had a vision in my mind's eye. I saw my heart's eye, where me and my twin, my divine counterpart, we were in the stalactite cave. We were in there. We were like walking around, like, oh, isn't this cool? Today, it was a while ago. It was like 2 years ago that I had this vision in my mind's eye. Fast forward to today. It's a full circle moment, alert. Stalactite. Let me read the definition of stalactite. Stalagmite. So a stalagmite is a mound or tapering column rising from the floor of a cave, formed of calcium salt deposits by dripping water and often uniting with stalactite. If you've never seen it, go Google a picture of a stalagmite and stalactite. It's pretty cool. So me and my twin, we're both 4. We're both walking around this cave by ourselves. We're like, isn't this so cool? Just like wondrous, heart wide open, minds wide open. And that's how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling like as if I've never had my heart broken. As if I've never experienced pain to close myself off from experiencing life. Is how I'm feeling. I feel wide open. Stalactite, spiritual meaning. Stalactite is associated with hidden inner growth and secret expansion of the higher self. Spiritual meaning of stalactite. Stalactite is associated with hidden inner growth and secret expansion of the higher self. Stalactite is associated with hidden inner growth and secret expansion of higher self. So I came into this world highly sensitive. So much so that I could perceive that everyone was living a double life. I could perceive everyone was living a double life. I could perceive that everyone was living a double life. How people presented didn't match their energy. The way they presented, the things they said, the way they moved, it didn't match their energy. The way they said, things they said, the way they moved didn't match their energy. I was confused. I was like, what is this place? I'm kind of scared. I just got like an intuitive hit in my heart. Bina, intuitive knowledge. There's a new souls, souls that incarnated on earth for the first time. Mm. And then, you know, you have the ancient souls. Yada, yada, yada. Everything in creation is happening at once. My twin flame and I, my divine counterpart and I, my baby and I are a new creation of creation. We are the energy that is unconditional love. The frequency that is my divine counterpart, my twin, my baby and I are the energy of unconditional love. My twin flame, my divine counterpart, my baby and I are the energy that is unconditional love. This new alchemy of energy that has been prophesied biblically and through ancient Hopi, Mayan, and many other tribal societies, cultures, civilizations of our planet, prophesied a time of regeneration, reformation of the universes, or God's creation. That energy that is to uplift and reform all of creation, the universes, all the concepts of God. That energy is my baby and I, my divine counterpart, my twin and I. That energy is my twin and I, my baby and I. I've been living behind a mask of indignity. I'm not sure what that means, so I'm about to look it up right now. I just look it up right now. I've been living behind a mask of indignity, of callousness, of stoicness. As if on the inside, I don't feel but living behind a mask of indignity, callousness, stoicness, resentment, anger. Indignity, treatment, or circumstances that cause one to feel shame or to lose one's dignity. Indignity, treatment, or circumstances that cause one to feel shame or to lose one's dignity. Indignity, treatment, or circumstances that cause one to feel shame or to lose one's dignity. With being the energy of unconditional love at our core, we have the understanding that everything that transpires the way it's supposed to transpire when it transpires. So everything we've experienced that caused pain, that we felt pain, caused us to feel pain. Every person that seemingly hurt us, every situation that seemingly hurt us, we know on a soul level that those people, situations, circumstances that cause pain, cause us to wear the mask, come off as callous, be ashamed of our experiences in life, be ashamed of our experiences in life, be ashamed of our experiences in life, be ashamed of the way we feel so deeply. Be ashamed of feeling so deeply, and how I bypassed having to acknowledge this within myself is I act like I always had it together. I act like I always have it together. And my twin acts like he doesn't care. I do the same thing. I act like I don't care. I act like I don't care. On the inside, I'm doing healing work right now. I've been doing healing work all day to transcend these energies. And Paramahansa Yogananda, thank you. Jesus, thank you. Maha Avatar Babaji, thank you. And every other energy in creation that is uplifting me and being my backbone right now. Thank you. Being my spine. Thank you. I have energies within me that I don't want to cry. Like, I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. I don't want to feel. Why, Ashley? Because, like, they don't feel the same way. They don't feel the same way. It's the aspects of myself that know that, felt that, knew that. My feelings couldn't be reciprocated. My energy couldn't be reciprocated before. Before my energies couldn't be reciprocated. So every time you felt a way about somebody, you loved on someone, like you were just yourself with someone, and they couldn't give that energy back. It felt like you were talking to a brick wall. It felt like you were talking to a brick wall. Or there was so much dissonance. That was hurtful. That was painful. That's painful. Just as the human being of planet Earth and the heavens, as we call it, or the rest of God's creation, has had much dissonance for many millennia. The human being is hurt. The human being is in pain. And we have to admit this to ourselves. We're hurting. We're in pain. We're like a small child, a 4-year-old, curled up in the closet, after the worst nightmare, with the most ferocious fear in its heart. In their heart. That's what the human being is. And we have to admit that to ourselves. We have to transcend. Every single human being, you are the little girl or the little boy curled up in the closet with the most ferocious fear in your heart after having the worst nightmare. The nightmare of being separate from your truth or separate from God. Confronting this fear within ourselves is the only way to transcend into heaven on earth. Transcend into the age of the harmonic convergence, where transcend into the age of unconditional love, where planet Earth, humanity of planet Earth, the ecosystem of Mother Father Gaia, is no longer separate from the rest of God's creation, but dwells within, as, and with the rest of God's creation. Transcended living, where we're able to harness energies from many different dimensions and create our realities, which create these realities that are like miracles, mind-blowing. A reality where you can meet a soul, find a person under the most peculiar circumstances, and share so much pain with that person. share so much pain with that person, and be charged to transcend the pain, to forgive the pain, to alchemize the pain, in order to come into this age of the harmonic convergence, this age of unconditional love, this age of heaven on earth. Me and my twin, we highest frequency within source, within planet Earth. So we have the highest frequency dimensionality within our hearts, within our souls. God's alchemizing unconditional love between my divine counterpart and I to reform Source, God, the Most High White Light Creator Energy, so that all of Source, the Most High White Light Creator Energy, understands that it is a part of the oneness called God, Source, Prime Source, highest White Light Creator Energy, highest White Light Creator Energy, so we're no longer in the dark and we can heal the little child in us that is curled up in the closet. Every being within God's creation can heal the little child in their heart that's curled up in the closet, in order to accept the love that is God, the unconditional love that is God. Whoa. I'm channeling a lot of this, so it's like the energies are hitting me. Excuse me. So like creation is science. So like I'm really working into not beating up on myself or not criticizing or judging myself. However I show up, whatever I'm doing. Even if I have a preconceived notion or preconceived synapse that says what I'm doing and how I'm showing up is wrong. Like I'm trying not to judge myself. I'm practicing not judging myself as I show up, because I have the understanding that every way that I show up, every version of myself that presents in every moment is a part of the alchemy of creation, as the way in which you show up in every moment is a part of the alchemy of creation. So don't beat up on yourself. We project our energies on each other, right? But that's a part of creation. It's about accepting, what we experience in that moment as our truth in that moment, and loving ourselves anyway. I was stealing all the juice from my twin. It's a part of God's plan. I have to forgive myself for this. It's a part of God's plan, right? But I was taking accountability for everything in my life. Everywhere that my twin showed up, I was like, okay, it's me and you. It's me. Like, I'll take it. I take it. Like, I wouldn't let him take it. Like, energetically, I wouldn't let his soul take any credit for nothing. I was like for anything that happened. I'm being guided to share the story of how me and my twin reconverged in this reality, and this is gonna help me heal, because this is what's stopping the process. God said, trust the process. So I reconvened with my twin on the socials, which is really cool, because it was like the chances of us finding each other is like 1 in a trillion. 1 in a trillion from the human perspective, right? God's perspective was like, this is going to happen. This was going to happen. There was no way around it. This is going to happen. So me and my twin reconvene, relink on the socials, DM. I actually messaged him. I instant messaged him, and it's so weird that he saw it. I'm glad he saw it. I'm glad he saw it, but the chances of him seeing it, I didn't think he was gonna see it. But I was intuitively guided to message him. Let me tell you the story. Like a year prior to this messaging him, a year prior, I was in a karmic situation. I was a karmic. Like we're all karmics. We're all karmics, and like I was in a karmic situation. Where I already graduated. I already learned my lesson. Really, like God was like, "There's nothing more you can learn from this. Like you let this go, and I'm gonna bring in God. Show me my baby in my mom's eye. God's like, I'm gonna bring him in if you let this go." I was like, cold turkey. I said, "You so right. Cold turkey." I let it go. I was like. I was tested throughout that year. I was tested. Are you gonna go back to your old ways? And like, I almost did it. Going back to my old ways would be casually dating, right? But it was like pointless because I already knew, like my whole life, I already had it in my head, back in my mind. Like I already know who I'm marrying. Like I already know who my man is. So like I even told the people that I dated, I was like, this is cute and all, but like I can't get too serious because I already know I got this over here. Like I already know like where I'm going. So it was like, it was messed up. It was manipulative and deceitful for me to like entertain these people when I already knew what was gonna happen. I already knew like this is not gonna last. Sorry to break it to you, buddy, but this is not gonna last. Holy crap. I knew this. So God was like, I needed to get this out. I knew this. So God was like, you let this go because you can't really learn much more. Like God really protected me because all the darkness I had inside of me, I could have really went through some things. But there were guys like I had to have you go through some things so you could understand. You could understand this reality. You had to face this. I didn't want you to go straight into your ascension, like with not having gone through any karmic lessons in this life. I went through about 3 karmic lessons in this, like 3 or 4 karmic lessons in this life with 3 or 4 people. 3 and then a family member. So 3 or 4 people. I went through karmic lessons in this lifetime. And God was like, I had to have you do that because I didn't want you to go straight into your spiritual awakening without having touched any of the karmic lessons from your past lives, and you would have no clue what you was facing. So I went through some karmic lessons, right? But God like told me like I censored it, I tempered it, so you didn't really experience like the full-fledged capacity of the darkness in which you carry. Thank you, God. So I was in these karmic situations, but I always knew like it was already in my heart. It was always on my heart. Like my intuition was like, it was always in my heart, like where I was gonna end up. So I was so I was kind of playing. I was playing around. God says it's enough of the games. You had enough fun. It's enough of the games. The games being the darkness, like not knowing, like being disconnected from my divinity. So not truly following my intuition and not truly walking the unique frequential path that is myself. As when you're guided to follow your intuition, you're only following the DNA of your soul or who God said you are. When you follow your intuition, you're only following your DNA or who God says you are, who your soul says you are. When you follow your intuition, you're only following your DNA or who God says you are, the frequency who God says you are. So I wasn't really following my intuition, and that's why nothing worked. Nothing ever worked because I wasn't following my intuition because I already knew, like, I was like double-minded. Like I already knew where I'm going, but I was just like playing. God says, it's enough of playing. It's enough playing. You let this go, I'm going to bring in your divine counterpart. I said, cool, let's get it. But I was still in the darkness, so I didn't remember my soul plan. Like I had little remembrance of my soul plan. God dropped breadcrumbs. I just knew this is gonna be my husband. I knew I was supposed to be everything that I wanted to be And I wanted to be everything that I wanted to be before I met my divine counterpart. So that's something that was like, it was energetically, it was challenging for me to accept that this was real, because I had a way worked out in my heart, my mind, of how it was gonna go. So it's hard for me to accept that this is real. God said, stop this and bring your divine counterpart or your husband. I said, okay, cool. I stopped a year. I was tested, I didn't fail the test. I passed the test. I was on it. I passed the test. And then one night I was intuitively guided to direct message my divine counterpart. I was so nervous. I was like, ooh, holy crap. And I said, the first message, I said, I think we were made for each other. Holy shit. I said, I think we were made for each other. And I just threw the phone. I was so nervous. Fast forward. We end up messaging each other. Fast forward. We end up messaging each other. Actually, when he messaged back, hey, I was at the movie theater. I was watching A Star. Shoot. I'm about to look it up because I'm being guided to say it because it's so synchronistic and it's just showing how miraculous we are, or God is. As we walk, follow our intuition, how things fall in line is just so beautiful. So, I was in the movie theater and it's a whole thing. And y'all gonna know eventually why it was a whole thing, but it's a whole thing. A star, and a star in the sky. Is that what it's called? A star in the sky. Give me a second, y'all. Give me 1 second. I think it's a star in our eyes. I don't know her name. My guys are trying to put her. The young woman that plays Stars in Your Eyes. Of all nurse. Dang. Hold on. I'll give me a second because I have to. Twin Flame. I'm just putting in Twin Flame movies and see what comes up. Twin Flame movies. But I was in the movie theater watching a Twin Flame movie. And at the time, I didn't know the term Twin Flame. The term Twin Flame hadn't come into my purview, my synapse of understanding. So I was in the movie theater watching a Twin Flame movie. I can't find it. We're gonna move on. I was in the movie theater watching a Twin Flame movie, and he messaged me, "Hey," and I was so excited. And I got excited. I was like, well, I need to go work on something. Because I wanted to be I felt like I had to be something other than what I was in order to be worthy of this love. I wanted to be successful in my business. Whole time, the only way that I was going to be successful within my businesses was me following my intuitive guidance, was me following my DNA, or who God says I am, who God says I was. So I'm gonna move there, and he texted me, "Hey," and I was like, I got up, I didn't watch the rest of the movie. I got up and went back to my house. My apartment was right over the way. I'm back to my house and started working on stuff. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I need to do something. I had ideas for businesses and stuff like that. So I was like, I need to work on ideas. I was like, I need to download these ideas, and that's what I've been doing my whole life is downloading different ideas. I was like, I need to do something. I don't know. Whole time I now have the understanding that his energy was pulling me into the timeline of where our love resides. His energy was pulling me into the timeline of where our love resides. His energy was pulling me into the timelines of where our love resides. In that moment, with my synapse understandings of life, I knew like work hard, get money. So I was like, I need to go do something. I need to go work on my businesses. I left to move there. Let me go work on my businesses. Whole time, you are. God told me it's not the titles that you have. It's not the jobs that you have. It's not the labels you have. It's not the degrees that you have. But it's who you are, the energy in which you are. That supplements your lifestyle, that justifies who you are. It's not your title, it's not your label, it's not what you do that justifies who you are. It's who you are that justifies who you are. It's who you are that justifies who you are. It's who you are that justifies who you are. Fast forward. I remember like telling my twin, like, I told my twin a couple of things that like I downloaded, and like I just like my soul knew, my soul was talking through me. I was channeling, you know. I was like, for some reason we got into energy is neither created nor destroyed. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. I was channeling that, and our soul was speaking. It was like I was like, I know you, like I know you. I was like, energy is neither created nor destroyed. And the other thing I said was like, you know, you can think with your heart, right? You know, like, you know, you can think with your brain, but you can think with your heart too. He was like, nuh-uh. He's like, no, you can't. He was only mirroring back to me, myself, that was asleep to our divine truths. He was like, no, you can't. Like, you can't think with your heart. There's actual like neurons and stuff where you can think with your heart, literally. So those are good times we had. We had some other good times. We're not gonna talk about them. We had some good times. It was short-lived. It was very short-lived. Like 2 days, 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 days. But like what I felt was like, I feel like I could be myself. I could be myself. Like I never talked to anyone like that ever. Like I never like shared like myself with anyone like that. I think we were made for each other. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. You can think with your heart. Like I never talk to people like that because like I energetically know what I can divulge and how I can interact with people, and I knew that I could be myself in. I was still, unbeknownst to myself, I physically left the karmic situations, but I hadn't resolved that darkness, those cocoons within myself. I hadn't met the darkness within myself that manifested the karmic situations. I hadn't met the darkness in myself that manifested the karmic situations. I hadn't met the darkness within myself that manifested the karmic situations. So I physically left and he came in, but I hadn't shed the karmic energies in order to align with my soul plane as I'm aligned now. I will say I am oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Somali features. I really appreciate that because I'm pretty sure I have Somali ancestors. I'm pretty sure. I appreciate that because there was a time where like since I do carry a lot of the darkness of the human collective, all of the darkness of the human collective, there was a time where like I felt ashamed about being African. I'm so like proud and like bolstered up by my African ancestry. Like it makes no sense. Like I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud about the way I look. So I appreciate that comment because it's beautiful. I hadn't met the darkness within myself that manifested the I hadn't met the darkness in myself that manifested the karmic situation. So my twin came in, short-lived. The bliss phase was short-lived as tragedy struck. What happened, Ashley? My twin was like, my twin sold me some dreams. I'm being guided to say it what it is, like it is. Actually, temper it. My twin sold me some dreams. My twin sold me some dreams, and I bought them. I bought them. I bought them. I bought those dreams. I bought those dreams. Long story shorter, the COVID pandemic started. I now have the understanding. Well, I got this download a while ago. Can I share it? I can share it. Everything, meeting my twin was a domino effect. Meeting my twin was a domino effect into the harmonic convergence. So as I met my twin, word, the pangolins in Asia, COVID pandemic got out. I remember pangolins because I was like, I know about the pangolins because I saw them and how they're like a delicacy, but they're also a endangered species, but people like black market the pangolins. So I was like, resonance. I was like, pangolins. The pangolins in Asia and the COVID pandemic came out. So the COVID pandemic began. And at this time, my twin and I were mirroring darkness to one another. Much like a toroidal field mirrors the energies in which can consist within a toroidal field, everything is science and physics and math. So like a toroidal field, if you look at the toroidal field, the poles of the toroidal field, like they like push and pull energy. They push and pull energies of the poles of the toroidal field. Me and my twin are the poles of the toroidal field. So we were pushing and pulling energy between ourselves. All of the darkness that, we experienced in this lifetime, all the darkness that we took on a soul level in order to alchemize the unconditional love that God is creating to assist with the reformation and upliftment of all of God's creation. Me and my twin were pushing and pulling between each other to the point where it's a COVID pandemic. I quit my job because I was intuitively guided to. Little did I know that I would end up homeless, living in my car, doing like delivery services to make money to have hotels for the night for about a week until I got in a car accident. The day before I got in a car accident, I got the premonition. I was pulling out of a driveway, doing delivery services, pulling out of a driveway, and I got the premonition of being hit, actually hitting someone. I had a premonition of me hitting someone. Next day, I had a hit and run. Someone hit me, and they kept going. On the back of their car was a cross. On their window was a sticker of a cross. I'll never forget it. When they hit me, it was like slow motion. I just started crying. It was like slow motion. The airbag came out. I just started crying. It was slow motion. I had to call my mother. I actually contacted my twin. He didn't message me back. I told him what happened. He didn't message me back. I called my mother, and I've been living with my mother ever since. I now know that it was like a camp. I've been like in a camp, my ashram in a camp. It was like my mother is a karmic lesson as we mirror our darkness and the lessons that we came here to transmute to the people that are closest to us, to the people that we associate with and have communication with, have relationship with. So my mother was my first karmic lesson where she mirrored to me a lot of what I came in to transmute and alchemize. So I came back to the place that I felt like at that time I had the perception like that place broke me. So I had to heal myself in the place in which I perceived that broke me. Now I know. Now I have the understanding that these are energies that I plan to take on a soul level, on a God level, on a goddess level, in order to alchemize the unconditional love. I'm on my path. I'm on my unique frequential DNA, makings of who God says I am. And I'm living in a reality where I am with my divine counterpart, alchemizing the unconditional love that is to reform and uplift all of God's creation. So all of God's creation knows that it's a part of a oneness, part of God, part of a family of creation, and not alone, not doing anything on its own, on their own, on our own. Have the understanding that everything that we experience is assisting with our upliftment. Everything that we experience is assisting with coming into the next chapter of our realities, of our beingness, of God. I now have this understanding, and I'm in this reality, and had my little child, inner child, trapped in the closet, and she was furious. She was sad. She is a new soul here on earth. Why is she a new soul here on earth, Ashley? Because she is a new energy. You come in authentic, you leave authentic. She came in as an unconditional love, as who God says she was. She was the balance of the dark and the light. She came in as balance, dark, and light. She came in as balance, dark, and light, and she inherited a human collective, a planet Earth of imbalance, of dysfunction, of karmic lessons and karmic patterns. So she came in the unconditional love, and she was scared into the closet, and she's been in the closet, in the chambers of my heart, until now. Why, Ashley? Now she knows who she is. Now she knows all the hurt she's experienced has only been training grounds, only been the alchemy of who she is. What she is to assist with creating in reality. My twin and I had a vision, my twin and I in the cave, inner caverns in Austin, inner caverns, stalagmites and stalactites. The stalagmites grow from the ground, the stalactite comes from the ceiling, and they meet much like a toroidal field. The stalagmite and the stalactite, spiritual meaning, stalagmite spiritual meaning, stalagmite spiritual meaning. Hidden, stalactite is associated with hidden inner growth and secret expansion of the higher self. My divine counterpart and I had our inner child, that balance, that unconditional love, hidden away in our hearts from a world that wasn't ready for us. A world that wasn't ready for us. Why? Everything happens in cycles and phases, and timings and cycles and phases. God's creation is perfect. God's creation is immaculate. God's way is perfect. God's way is immaculate. God's planning is immaculate. God's way is immaculate. God's planning is immaculate. God's way is immaculate. God's planning is immaculate. God's way is immaculate. Stalactite is associated with hidden inner growth and secret expansion of higher selves. Our inner children were hidden away in our heart chambers, and we acted out of character. We acted out of character as we took on these masks, these personas, as if we were invincible, as if we weren't moved, as if things didn't move us, people didn't move us, situations didn't move us. In order to compress and pressurize that unconditional love in which we came into the creation that God needs in this space of creation, of this space of time. So all the while, our inner children are in our hearts. Humanity is in the closet. Humanity is in the closet, curled up in pain, hurting. Everything that we've experienced in our historic human history, the good, the bad, the ugly, the in-between, was the hidden inner growth and secret expansion of our higher self. Everything that we've experienced in the history of humanity, every single thing, every atrocity, every blissful happening was the hidden inner growth and secret expansion of the higher self. Why, Ashley? I'm waking up. I'm doing my thing. Magic. And It's so cool. Like, I am like processing things so quickly within myself. Like, I don't even have to think about it. Like, I just know. Like, the knowing, I progressively, like, before I would have to, like, kind of, it would be a slower processing system. Now it's like quick. Like, I just know things. Like, my guys guide me to something. Oh, I just know it. It's not, I'm processing things so quickly. I'm able to perceive things that I never perceived before. Human being 2.0, or the perfect human being, in order for the human being to grow into this immaculate, beautiful, loving, unconditionally loving creature or species that has the access to highest knowledge of self, highest light of self, the darkest darkness of self, in order to alchemize self into a balanced, loving human being in physicality. We had to go through everything that we went through. Everything that the history of humanity has been through has been the hidden inner growth and secret expansion of the higher self, or of God, of all of creation. For what actually the upliftment and the reformation of all of creation. I'm going to go ahead and close out this Kingdom Things podcast live. I'm excited to watch it back because I just let, honestly, it's Paramahansa Yogananda. I just let Paramahansa Yogananda move through myself. And I'm excited to watch it back. I know I was like being broken off and healed through the whole thing. I was like, he had a flashlight inside of me with the magnifying glass. Like, where you hurting? Where you hurting? We're about to fix it. Thank you, Paramahansa Yogananda. Again, my name is Nicole Phillips. I am the biblically prophesied Messiah. Even more magical, which, like, I was so nervous about that, and now I'm stepping into new dimensions. Now that I kind of conquered that within myself, I faced and conquered that within myself. I'm stepping into new things, and I'm like, that was a molehill compared to this mountain over here. God, you said I'm this, God. God, you say I'm this. I'm going up there. So now I'm looking at biblically prophesied Messiah like, okay, all right. But you said I'm that God? Whoa, okay. Get on your path. And the cool thing, getting on your path is just following your inner guidance. Yes, it hurts, but our ups and downs are the hidden growth to meet our mountains that only get bigger. We reach this peak. God's like, there's another peak. You're that too. I want you to experience that dimension of yourself. Yes, it hurts. There's ups and downs, but you're worthy of experiencing your peaks and dimensions within yourself that are beyond what you perceived yourself to be in the last moment. Again, my name is Nicole Phillips, biblically prophesied Messiah, beautiful being having experience in the creation that we call God. We most notably know as God, Most High, Prime Source. I love you. Love on yourself. I'm laughing because I can't wait for the day where I'm like, I felt energies of another timeline. There's gonna be a day where I'm like, I don't even want to say it because like I'm shy. I don't want to talk about it. It's me hiding myself. It's me hiding myself. I can't wait for the day where I'm like mother too, wife too. That's gonna be my part of my closing because like that's my legacy. That's my legacy. My family. I love you. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love because you have to love yourself in the way in which you want the universe or God or our reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love because you are loving your truest truth. So you love on yourself to realize new dimensions of yourself that are love. Self-love is the best love because you are love. You are love, so just be yourself and give it to yourself. Again, my name is Nicole Phillips. You are watching Kingdom Things Podcast. Available on YouTube and Spotify. For free, for your healing pleasures. Bye.